ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Bubba. Along with me is my co-host, Joe. How you doing, Joe?
Doing all right.
Again, we welcome local wrestling guru, Corey Lancor. Corey,
hello.
Welcome to the stage. How are you today?
Good. I'm feeling good today.
Usually, folks, we start out with wrestling birthdays, but I'm dedicating this show today to a local independent wrestler. Young man, I think he was 32 years old, who I've met. Me and Corey actually talked to him 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Literally 2 weeks ago. He walked up to my car and says hello, along with Davey Cash. His name is Carlos Torres, went by the name of Carlos V. So we're dedicating this entire episode to the memory of independent wrestler Carlos Torres, a.k.a. Carlos V, who passed away last week. Rest in peace to Carlos and all those out there who loved him. All right, Joe, since we've gotten through negative, let's go on to some of the wrestling birthdays.
Okay, we start off with Shotzi.
Shotzi Blackheart.
March 14th, 33. The Stinger, Sting.
Steve Borden.
March 20th, 66. CM Punk's Mrs. CM Punk, AJ Lee.
Yes, saw it on Facebook.
March 19th, 38. Santino Marella. March 14th, 51. SD Jones.
Special delivery.
March 30th. The Dead Man, The Undertaker. March 24th, 59. Oh, this next guy slapped himself on the back.
Barry Horowitz.
Yep.
Good over time.
March 24th, 66.
Oh, Barry's already 66. I met Barry when I was younger.
Matter of fact, in the car, we mentioned her husband. Now we're going to talk about her, Lana.
Yes.
March 24th.
We have some information to tell you after this, too.
40.
Lana's 40?
Yeah.
Wow, she's fantastic for 40.
Oh, yeah.
One half of the Beverly Brothers.
Oh, the Beverly Sisters. Yeah, I remember them now.
That's what I used to call them.
Were they at all related to the Pretty Ugly?
I don't know.
I think they're not, but
They're
yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
Bo Beverly, he's the one without the mustache. He's March 22nd, 67.
Wow.
Lacey Evans, March 24th, 35. Former WWE referee and wrestler, Danny Davis.
Danny Davis, I've met several times locally.
March
Shows.
March 28th, 69.
He's 69 already.
One half of the Powers of Pain, Warlord. March 28th, 63. This next guy, we just mentioned his brother on the last show. Charlie Haas this time.
That's Charlie's birthday, yes. That was also on WrestlingForum.com. I get mentioned every show. Vic Salagas's wrestling site. Definitely a good site to look into.
March 27th, 53.
I wish Charlie Haas a happy birthday. I have him on Facebook as a friend.
Spirit Squad member, Mikey.
Oh, me, Mike. Yep.
March 26th, 42.
Mike Mondo.
Yes, Mike Mondo in ROH.
Yep.
Mr. Perfect.
Who I've met in person. Mike
Me too.
Mondo. Yes.
Me too.
Mr. Perfect, 28.
One of the sad stories of wressling.
I miss him.
Great wrestler, great commentator. Just had a character about him. You see Pat McAfee toss his pencil every now and then. Like he,
I noticed that myself.
Throwback to
several times.
Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
Freebird, Michael P.S. Hayes.
Michael P.S. Hayes still works for WWE. Still there as a booker. He still works as an agent.
Does a good job, too.
March 29th, 66.
Wow.
NXT star Stephanie Valkyra.
Valkyra.
Yep.
March 29th, 32.
Who just surrendered her North American Championship. She's just champion now.
Yeah.
If you watched it.
Yep.
No, it's not his birthday. Sorry, Corey.
The guy says you better do your taxes.
IRS. Mike Rotunda.
You doing your taxes?
Ray Wyatt's dad, and
Yep.
Bo Dallas' uncle
It's
Howdy's.
Bo and Bray's father.
Right, Uncle Howdy's dad.
Still a menace.
March 30th, 67. Rugged Ronnie Garvin.
Yes,
You're not going to believe how old he is. March 30th, 80.
yes.
Wow.
And finally, RKO, Randy Orton, on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 45.
Again, it mentioned on Wrestling Forums, some of these have been. Definitely something to look into. Well, we had mentioned a couple people that, like the Warlord had a record at one time that was beaten by one of the other birthday guys, Santino Marella.
Yep.
Shot his time in the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. 6 seconds down to 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. Santino got taken out in 2 seconds. We can go on and on with different little quips like that.
Yep.
Now let's get to the more somber things, longer lists. Fortunately, this is for our director out there. We have a longer list of death notices today, so we don't have to sacrifice anybody on the stage today. Me and Joey had nominated Corey.
Woohoo!
But we'll let you live.
Okay, cool.
Boxer George Foreman.
That one hurt a lot. I mean, George had made his money with that product. I know they don't endorse the show, so I can't mention it. I do still have one of those items. I still have that item at home. I've had it for years.
I used to eat with one. Like
Used to eat with one?
I had a friend of mine had the grill, and he lend me it.
Can't mention the word.
I love grills, barbecues. You know.
You can't mention the product he sold.
All right.
He actually made more money selling that, a lot more money than he did boxing. That item.
I think he had his own TV show one time.
Yes, George and family, bringing all his sons out. George, and George.
He did a
And
commercial.
What was his daughter's name?
Georgina.
Georgina.
He did a commercial too, for cars or something, mufflers, Midas, whatever.
Yes, about a company that sells things for your car.
Yes.
Can't mention Corey. We cannot mention people who do not sponsor our show.
Right,
It's against our rules here at Attleboro. I'm sorry, director. On the way home, I will beat him.
I got a little nostalgic. Sorry.
Actor Richard Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain, who was in Shogun and who was in
The Thornbirds.
The Thornbirds, a great movie from back in the day. Was he? I believe he was what, 90?
Yes,
I think he was 90.
He was even a star of a 1960s medical series too, called Dr. Kildare.
Yes, he was. Great actor from years gone by.
Next, I got Batman Forever star Val Kilmer.
We just heard about this yesterday. As we've said, folks, we taped this on a Wednesday, and he died on April Fool's Day. I literally just watched one of the movies, and I'll mention the movie Maverick.
The Iceman.
The Iceman himself. Jim Morrison in The Doors. He was in Batman. He played Batman once. Good actor. He was in Brokeback Mountain.
And Willow.
And Willow. We can go on and on. I mean, good actor. Top Gun Maverick. That was his last performance.
This next one, she's one of those little people actors. She was on one of his Sid and Marty Krofft series, but she was under a mask and furry costume. The character was called Honk, I think, or Honky or something like that, on Far Out Space Nuts.
Okay.
Patty Maloney.
All right. Now you've educated me. I didn't know who that was. No, that's not costume. Corey does look just like that.
She worked with Chuck McCann and the late Gilligan.
Yes, Bob Denver. Far Out Space Nuts.
Next one is former Massachusetts governor's wife, Kitty Dukakis.
Kitty Dukakis, who I had the pleasure of meeting once when I was younger. I met her and ex-governor Dukakis. Little side story to that. My nephew went to school at University of Hawaii with Governor Dukakis, taught history And my nephew did get Governor Dukakis as a professor.
Finally, Patriots legend.
Finley.
I said finally, not Finley.
Finley's alive.
Patriots legend Kenneth Sims.
Kenneth Sims, yes. I think he played for the team for 6 years. I'm not sure if it was 6 or 7 years. Former first-round draft pick. There was another Patriots player that he wasn't as popular as Kenneth Sims, but I forget his name now. It was mentioned. But rest in peace to all those folks who passed. And like I said, in the beginning, to start this show, a special rest in peace to Carlos Torres, a.k.a. Carlos V, local independent wrestler. Great kid. Every time me or Corey saw him, and Corey will attest to this, he's always friendly, come over to you, always says hello. Oh, he gave you a half hug. You know, always very friendly man, good wrestler, good little worker. Trained by the man who sat in this very stage. We keeping you up, Joe?
No.
Joe just woke up about 2 hours ago. So.
Yeah.
Yep, trained by Brickhouse Baker.
Mike Brickhouse Baker, who's been on this show. Well, now we've gotten through some of the positives and negatives. Let's go to some of the things that we're getting ready for. Again, we mentioned last show when we had Steve on, and I'm hoping to get Steve here the next show so we can give us his insight into WrestleMania, because that's going to be just before WrestleMania. Matter of fact, I think it might be WrestleMania Day, the first day on next taping in a couple weeks. We're hoping to get Steve back to get his picks. But let's quickly go through some of the matches that we have actually signed, but there's proposed matches too that we could mention and give our picks for.
We already mentioned the first 4 of them last time. So
Unless you didn't say Lashley. He's learning. He doesn't say Lashley.
Newest match we got is the triple threat match between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns.
And what's the key behind that? It's going to be the main event, and finally CM Punk's going to get the main event WrestleMania. They say it's going to be the last match out. That was one of the stipulations that I guess Paul Heyman helped devise for CM Punk.
That would be on Easter Sunday.
Yep.
Nope, it's going to be Saturday, actually.
Yes.
That's going to be Saturday's main event.
Oh, it is? I thought it was going to be Sundays.
I heard it's going to be Saturday's main event,
okay.
actually.
There's other matches I think that are probably going to happen. I could see Braun Strowman against Jacob Fatu happening. Who do you see LA Knight wrestling?
Good question. It could be maybe I don't know about it, but it could be Solo.
Could be Solo. I've heard that rumors of that too. For rumors, it might be Solo, but I'm not sure because Solo hasn't been signed. He's been keeping kind of a low profile lately. I'm not a big fan of Solo Fatu. He's a good wrestler, Solo Sikoa. But this whole taped thumb deal that's not a wrestling hold. It's kind of boring. I mean, Don Morocco did the Asiatic Spike years ago. Umaga did the
original Samoan Spike.
And it's not a wrestling hold. You just spike somebody. If you ever notice, Sammy spike him in the throat. He's hitting somebody in the shoulder. It's just not a wrestling hold. It's actually kind of boring to make that as a finisher. That's just my opinion. I think Solo's a better wrestler than that. For those who didn't watch Raw this week, I mean, Gunther put a beat down on Jimmy Uso bad.
Got covered in Jimmy's own blood.
Yes.
Very graphic.
Yes. It made Jay watch when he zip tied him to the rope.
I haven't seen something done that evil in way since back when Randy Orton had Triple H tied to the ring and he watched Stephanie McMahon get destroyed by Orton.
One of the more graphic things I saw was when Undertaker had signed a contract with Brock Lesnar and shoved a pen through the man's hand.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty graphic.
And then he signed the name with that blood.
Yep, right through the pen with the hand there. And that was pretty graphic if you think about it. So who do you think wins that match, Corey? Put it on you. The triple threat.
After tonight, after Monday, I honestly think I think Gunther deserves a longer reign.
Okay. That one above your head. I was saying the.
Talking about the triple threat match.
Oh, you're talking about the triple threat match?
Yes.
All right, my bad. Okay, we're on that subject. I'd say CM Punk is going to take it.
I'm going to concur with Corey. I think CM Punk's going to win that match. It's his WrestleMania moment, and it would make sense for him to get his WrestleMania moment and have him win WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Joey, what's your pick on that one?
I'm going to go with unanimous on that.
Huh?
Unanimous on that one. In other words, I agree with both of you.
Oh, make it unanimous.
Making it unanimous.
Okay. So you think CM Punk's going to win that match? And we had mentioned before Gunther against Jey Uso. I think Jey wins the match for the one reason. Now Jey has got fuel. He's got
a point.
The desire to do it. And Gunther needs some time off.
You're
Gunther
right.
wants to spend some time,
True.
I think, with his family. His wife just had a baby. I mentioned his last show.
Yeah, his wife's a former wrestler, too.
Yes. Well, since we're on the subject, we just mentioned earlier, too, Lana.
Yeah.
Why don't you mention that for us, Corey?
Oh, yes.
I'll give you the honors.
I heard from the grapevines that someone's going to be making his comeback to the WWE, Rusev. The big Bulgarian brute. He was in AEW for a while, but then they stopped
Miro.
using him,
Yep.
and his contract got ended, and now he's re-signed with WWE. He'll be expected to come out very soon.
Probably right after WrestleMania. I don't think they'd pick him up before WrestleMania.
Probably after WrestleMania.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys coming back from injury. Going to be coming back soon, too.
NXT has a new North American champion, the recently signed Ricky Shields. I can't try.
Ricky Saints.
Ricky Saints. I keep calling him Shields. I don't know because he's
I don't know
Ricky
why.
Sparks, but that's why they can't use the name Sparks. It's trademarked by AEW. That's why they can't use Ricky Sparks.
I guess.
Did you happen to notice who was in the audience? Did you? You don't know the kid, but I do. He actually stood on my chair once at an NCW event. Ironically, folks, this is a day after the NCW event that's going to be in Bristol, where it happened to me years ago. Ricky Smokes was in the audience, a local kid.
Ah.
He's been signed by NXT. He's on the show Evolve now.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
He's training
yeah.
on Evolve, so I'm glad to see Ricky Smokes, who one time I had a little bit of we'll say a little tiff with, a personal kind of little shouting match. He was actually standing on my chair and standing next to me and yelling at me, and I just kind of I told him, hey, Rook, your match is in the ring, not with me. Get in the ring there, Rook, because you don't want to deal with me. I'm glad to see Ricky Smokes making it.
But yeah, Ricky Smokes, if you want to see him in action, he's going to be on Tubi every Wednesday.
Yep.
I thought I saw something where I was saying that one of the WWE lady referees is on Evolve too. Wrestling on Evolve.
Yeah, one of the women refs.
Vicky Carr?
Yeah, Vicky Carr.
Well, Vicky Carr is
Jessica Carr.
Jessica Carr. She was trained by Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah, she was, but
and she's gonna be wearing a mask.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. You kind of jumped the gun on me. That's cool. But
I
that's all
apologize.
right.
I got a little excited.
No, that's why you're here. That's okay. You had to throw your 12 cents worth in.
All right, I'm all set now.
That's okay. No big deal. That's what we have you here for, Carl. You
All right.
you got to throw your cents in when you know it. Mm-hmm. Did you know that, Joe?
What?
Who do you think you are, Stone Cold? Speaking of that, Corey, you mentioned the whale.
Oh yes, recently they announced. I guess it's the final inductees for the Hall of Fame. This time it's not for a person. It's going to be for a matchup, a moment in wrestling history. Apparently, the first inducted wrestling match. It's going to be from WrestleMania 13 in 1997, which featured Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart. And anyway, in that match we had a double turn between good guy and bad guy, which was it ever been done before? At the same match, one guy become good and the other guy become evil?
I don't think so, but what? There's no Montreal.
Screwjob?
No screw job.
No, can't say that. Get your mind. We went through that a couple weeks ago. He yelled that right away. You know, Joe, you're gonna get us kicked off the air one of these days. I'm sorry, director. I'll slap him too on the way home. All right?
In your dreams.
In my dreams, I'll slap you right here, stage or not.
There's the nightmares.
I slapped that hair off him, but he ain't got any.
Slap him silly.
Well, we've had some fairly decent amount of time here. We've also gone through different things for the Hall of Fame, which is going to be happening. There's all kinds of things happening that weekend. There's going to be a roast, a comedy roast, I guess you can go to over in Vegas. They mentioned a lot of stuff on Netflix for those who don't watch it. They mentioned a lot of stuff on SmackDown for those who don't watch it.
Can't.
There's even going to be a special blood sport, like work, shoot, fighting, wrestling. Going to feature some WWE guys on it, like Karrion Kross, Natalia, Carmen Petrovic. And Bobby Dempsey and several others. It's gonna be a good show.
What do you think of this new faction now coming to NXT? Is it not a ripoff of the Shield in a way?
I think it's more of a
NXT ripoff of the original NXT.
Remember, it's not the Shield. Remember that group that was during the pandemic era that Mustafa Ali was the leader of?
Revolution.
Or I guess it was Revolution. I forget what they call it.
Donovan Dijak was with them, along with the company. Matter of fact,
they're practically trying to make.
Back when working local.
Personally, I think what they're doing with this faction is better than what they attempted to do in the pandemic era with that type of faction.
See, the WWE's going back to a lot of factions and groups. I'm not fond of groups and gang beating up one person, and that's just. I don't. It's cute, but it's to the point where it's getting overboard. They're getting this. There's too many of them out there. There's too many different factions like that. I mean, New Quarter Catch Crew, the one with Io Sky,
Damage Control. Speaking of Damage Control, Asuka should be returning very soon, probably by Backlash.
Yeah, we saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
She'll be coming back. She just signed a new contract, I believe. She's going to be 41 shortly. But there's a lot of factions out there. The Bloodline, Hank and Tank tag teams. There's the tag teams in NXT. There's like Fatal Attraction or Fatal Influence, whatever they call themselves. There's too many of them. I just think it's getting a little overboard.
I know that you don't like the promotion, but they've done one good thing about that with the factions. They do with faction. They have a trios title where they put three people instead of because there's a lot of three people factions in WWE. Maybe
they used to have a triple champion at one time on WWE. They had it years ago, but they actually got rid of it. It wasn't around long.
They should resurrect it.
And the WCW had a triples champion.
They should resurrect that for the fact that there's so many factions.
Now here's a good question, Corey, who mentioned it. The guy just mentioned it. Who was the first triple faction world champions for NWA? Do you remember?
Oh boy, man.
That's just me being mean.
I know you
might know it too.
I can only think of like
a Horseman.
It was the Road Warriors
and Paul Ellery.
It was the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes were the first triple champions.
Dang! I should have remembered that because I actually remember watching the episode when they talked about that.
Yep. Yes, there was a little history each and every show. I try to bring up some questions of my knowledge in this sport. I do have a little bit of what's going on, and I'm not saying there's a man out there, no relation to me. His name is Tom Burke. If you can find him on Facebook, look for him. That man's forgot more about wrestling, I think, than I know. He's been involved in wrestling for almost 70 years.
Wow.
A well-respected man in the community. Well-respected. I'd like to meet him one day. No relation to me. Good man. Well, we often don't talk about it, folks, but we might as well go into it now for a few minutes. We have a few minutes left in the show. Of a subject here in the Inside Scoop, we do have local sports teams. the Bruins, talk about deaths,
Bruh.
have died. They've lost the last 9 games in a row. They traded away their coach, Brad Marchand. They traded away Charlie Coyle, local kid from my old hometown, Weymouth. Local kid whose dream was to be a Bruin, and good two-way hockey player. Wasn't a superstar, but he was a good two-way hockey player, strong player. The other guy, Carlos and Frederick, I mean, good players. They've traded. I personally think the person they should trade away or get rid of is Don Sweeney, the general manager. I think you got to sign back Brad Marchand. You got to try to go back out there and get Charlie Coyle. I think Frederick's gone, and I think the other kid, Carlos, is gone. John Carlo is gone. I think those players are gone. What I think killed the Bruins this year is when they decided not to re-sign Linus Ullmark as a backup goaltender. I think it really, really hurt the team a lot, an awful lot, because you didn't have those 2 backups. You didn't have those 2 solid goaltenders. I can go on and on. The Patriots have been making some strong signings. They have a big draft coming up. I'd like to see the Patriots go after, his name is Turner, I guess his name is Turner? I don't know how much you follow football, if either of you follow the football at all, but there's a player, Travis Turner. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. They're saying he might fall in the 4th. If they have a chance to get he's a two-way football player. He could be a cornerback or a wide receiver. The Patriots just signed Stephon Diggs he's played for Buffalo at one time. He's been kind of bouncing around the league for the last couple of years. He's a little bit beyond his prime, but he's a good veteran presence, 31-year-old with great receiver to help the team. They need a defensive tackle to help Drake May, giving some time to throw to these guys. But having someone like Stephon Diggs to throw to is a leg up. The Red Sox, can anybody, Mr. Director, is this possible? Maybe you could do it. Could you convince Rafael Devers to bat right-handed, because he can't bat left-handed? All right? He's 0 for what, 18 now? Something like that? He's with like 16 strikeouts. Red Sox are, it's early in the season, so I'll give them all a chance. And the Celtics, I think, are going to be hanging up bad number 19. I don't see anybody beating them. Cleveland's going to give them some headaches. So will a couple other teams, but the Celtics are resting players. People having injuries. I don't think they have injuries. I think they're just resting them so they're getting ready for the playoffs. And a solid team. People off the bench are scoring 25 points, 30 points. Unbelievable. We don't talk enough about our local sports teams, but they're all doing phenomenal. Well, again, I'd like to thank AACS for having us, our director for directing us, his intern who's in there helping them. Thank you for all your time. I want to thank you folks for watching, and again, rest in peace, Carlos V. Oh, quickly, sorry. And WWE is April 16th. We'll be in Bridgewater. Thank you.